Hey folks, actually out heading over to Costco to pick up a few items. That was a good morning for it. Thought I'd get on here and just kind of do a little musing like I like to do. I think it's getting increasingly interesting. Hopefully you're listening to some key folks out there. Really like Scott McKay. I really like Simon Parks. I really like Dr. Charlie Ward. There's a few others out there that my intuition, my sensibilities tell me that they're probably on the up and up. Again, you have to use a little discernment across all of this and figure out who's just trying to mislead you, who's trying to misdirect you, who's trying to put disinformation in your mind. Just use your kind of intuition, your discernment, and for whatever reason they strike a chord with me. Maybe it's because they, in a lot of ways, they think the same way I do, which is as I've said time and time again, I'm kind of a big picture guy. I like to look from on high, if you will, and read the tea leaves and try to figure out what's going on. One of the things we have to bear in mind is that if we're hearing things, if we're seeing certain things, they are too. So don't get irritated if you feel like you're being misdirected or if you're not getting the truth. I appreciate the fact that you can't tell them what you're going to do. It has to be, unpredictable, if you will. One of the things I've always loved about our President Trump, is that he's very unpredictable, and he's always said when talking to the fake news media, I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do. So that's spot on, exactly how it should be. In any event, I'm frankly excited. I know there's a lot of people out there that's nervous and scared even. And if you've been paying attention and have understood and appreciated kind of what's got us to where we are right now, then you should be ecstatic, excited. I can't tell you how excited I am. I've been just waiting and chomping at the bit for this to happen for a long time now. So I'm excited. And we've been preparing. So I mean, time and time again, people have said, be prepared. Prepare yourself for any slight disruptions in your normal life. So if you're prepared, which we've been saying time and time again to do, then you shouldn't really be that much to worry about. And I don't want to bore you with what that really means, but Scott McKay came on last night, and I've been kind of anticipating this, and he said that his back channels are telling him that we should expect, and this was last night, within 24 hours to expect an emergency broadcast to come out. I'm looking forward to that. We'll see if that happens, and also that the president's going to address the nation tonight at 9 o'clock. So we'll see where that goes. Again, go listen to Tipping Point Radio. Scott McKay, he's kind of got more of a rundown on that, and he's more connected than I am. Again, I'm just a fly on the wall, looking and listening to everything that's going on, and just giving you my 2 cents of it. Sometimes people out there, they just want to hear someone else, feel calm and collected and excited. And I have friends that get a little worked up over a lot of the things they're hearing, and they reach out to me just to talk, to also calm down a little bit as well. So, and again, I this is just my interpretation of things. And I had a conversation yesterday. I have breakfast with my friends every Saturday morning, and they're like, "Well, Rick, what if Biden gets into office?" And I'm like, number one, it's not going to happen. I'm 99.99% sure that Biden is not. Let me just say it this way: Biden is not going to be inaugurated. All right, that's number one. My sensibilities tell me that January 20th is not a locked in stone date where something has to happen. So, there's also an extreme possibility that date could slip and slide. The time has compressed and all this stuff we've been preparing for so long, it has to happen now. So even though I'm reading the tea leaves and I don't know anything for sure, we're at that point now where all that preparation has to happen now. And I know it's going to be a military-driven effort, only because our legislative systems, our structure as we know it is, to me, in my opinion, is completely corrupt and untrustworthy. I think Trump did the right thing. I think our administration did the right thing to exhaust every legal avenue to do it the right way. He's also exposed and shown people that the system is corrupt. The voting system is corrupt. Anybody out there with any open mind whatsoever should see that the system is corrupt. So he's exhausted every legal options. He's shown people that the system is corrupt, et cetera, and now it's time for the military, which I've anticipated all along. And Scott McKay has kind of said the same things, and I completely agree with that. So, again, I'm excited. I'm really excited about all this. It's time to clean up. You know what it looks like on the other side of this. I have speculations, and if you're listening to a lot of the same people, I'm listening to, you're probably hearing the same thing. So it all resonates with me as far as what that would look like, and a lot of it's speculation, and I'm cautiously optimistic. So I don't know, and people could be saying things that aren't true. Who knows, right? But the one thing I am pretty darn sure about, and that is that it's going military. Our government structure is going to be cleaned up. I think all the tea leaves are pointing in that direction. So I have almost no doubt that that's going to happen. Right? So, and if you're curious, where that comes from, if the entire legislative system is shown corrupt, if you see all the people that are turning their back on our president and our we the people mission that we're pushing towards, most of them turned their backs when all that chaos kind of went down in Washington. And frankly, it wasn't even that big of a thing. The Antifa infiltrated. The Antifa folks basically stormed the Capitol building. And we already know what happened there. And they were just looking for an excuse to kind of flip their objection to the votes, right? We know Pence is on the other side. So all that being said, Washington, I think, is corrupt almost all the way through and through, and draining the swamp, cleaning up the mess is going to be huge. So what that looks like, the military actions, military tribunals, which I think is going to be required to make that happen, I mean, it's going to be exciting. Now, the other stuff that I'm hearing, I've been hearing chatter about for quite a long time, and is around the financial system. The reason why a lot of that GESARA and NESARA stuff, which is kind of what I'm alluding to, kind of resonates with me, is that we all know our financial system is corrupt. We all know our financial system is falling apart. Something has to be done there. The financial system also is what's behind a lot of the criminal, nefarious, evil things that are out there. Money corrupts people. Money corrupts organizations. And I mean, you just to throw a few kind of examples out there, what I'm talking about. The medical industry. Think of how much money is in the medical industry. Is the medical industry incented to cure cancer? Is the medical industry incented to cure much of anything? Right? So my intuition, my discernment tells me that the medical industry created much of the problems that they're in turn giving you, giving you medicine, giving you vaccines to cure. And my strong suspicion is that they're in turn, giving you more problems. It's just a money engine. So that's a problem. And then you look at, just manufacturing industry and all the stuff that's out there. Everything is engineered to fail. Not that I can entirely blame them, but look at like Samsung washing machines or LG washing machines or ovens or refrigerators. They're all engineered to last 4 or 5 years, and then you're almost pressed to buy another one, right? And from a pure business standpoint, that kind of makes sense. But my point here is that the financial system is corrupt, and there's got to be a way of taking that corruption out of the mix. I think that's going to be a big part of what needs to be fixed. So the Jacera and Nacera system, the quantum financial system everybody keeps talking about, my hope is that sorry about that. My hope is that all that is rectified. So I'm expecting on the other side of this counter coup, this cleaning up and draining of the swamp and the military actions and what's going to happen going into the next term, a lot of that will be clean, and I think there's some reality to the Jacera and Nacera financial quantum system restructuring. All right, that's number one. The other thing is, and we'll see, this could be interesting. I've also, over the past X number of months and even years in this last administration, I've heard about President Trump being the last president. So what does that mean? And Dr. Charlie Ward on his kind of show kind of touched on this a little bit. I don't know. Again, I listen to it. I take it in. Some of it kind of resonates with me, and some of it doesn't necessarily. But it's an interesting point. I don't think another president and our governmental system as it stands today can carry forward. I think the next phase of this is going to have to look a lot different, and how we do that and still respect the government system that we have, our Constitution, what that looks like, it'll be interesting to see. So nothing happens quickly overnight, so what that looks like, it'll be interesting to see. So anyway, so just some musings, just some thought things I wanted to kind of put out there. There's a lot of people that are kind of nervous and scared, and they're freaking out over Biden being sworn in, which is not going to happen. It's just not. I'm very excited about action being taken and a lot of this stuff kind of going down. Oh, another person worth listening to, if you stumble across any of his feeds, is 107. Love that guy. He's been on Road News the past week or so, a couple of times, and each time he's been on there, that stream got nuked, which is disappointing, because every time I listen to it and I send it over to some friends of mine, it disappeared. But one, I love his personality. I love his sensibilities and how he kind of shares things. And one of the main things he is spot on about, even though he does share, kind of what's going on, he doesn't give you the details that will derail this movement. All right, so don't expect someone to tell you everything that's going on, because if we're hearing it, they're hearing it, and we can't compromise the mission, right? So just keep that in mind. I mean, we want to know, but in many ways that's not really practical. So in any event, take all this for what it's worth. I haven't said this in a while, but what I'd like to encourage everyone out there is to do this. Do what I'm doing, because I'm not a texter. I don't like to type a whole lot. Put your voice out there. It's not that hard. Just put a camera on yourself. Just kind of talk about what you're thinking, and I think a dialogue is a good thing. Put it out there and share your thoughts. Intuition, our thoughts can drive and dictate a lot of what's really going on around us. So we need to get that good vibration going. And I think it is going. We just need to take it over the finish line. So in any event, have a great weekend, guys, as you finish it out on this wonderful Sunday, and be joyous and thankful. It's all starting to happen. Talk soon.